What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, the Ghoul Guy, back at you guys yet again with another video. And today, guess what? I have finally reached veteran rank in Pokemon Go. Let's go. I know it's took me a minute. It's taken me a freaking long time for no freaking reason. Well, a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons for it, but I buckled down on a team and we finally hit veteran rank. And you cannot believe what Pokemon we actually used to actually get there, okay? Basically, this is going to be a team consistent of Moltres, Feraligatr, and as well as Skeledirge. Yes, we have basically my two favorite starters in the back and the Galarian Moltres in the front. This is basically one of the best Pokemon to actually use. Oh, well, actually, I didn't even talk about the cup. It's not the Great League. We are going to basically be doing it in the Catch Cup because I just recently caught these, obviously, Feraligatr during the Community Day, Skeledirge also during the Community Day, so very accessible in terms of team, right? Of course, not the Moltres, okay? I understand the Moltres is probably a lot more difficult to actually catch. I definitely had to use a Master Ball on this one to actually catch it, but yeah, we are using Galarian Moltres. I don't know if you want to like say switch it with a you could switch it with the Mandibuzz potentially, you know. Of course, Moltres is going to be a little better because the Sucker Punch does just a tremendous amount of damage, right? But you know, Mandibuzz might actually be a good alternative if you do not have a Moltres. But this team was freaking amazing. Let's get into the IVs. Let's get into the movesets before we actually get into the battles. Let's go. All right, first Pokemon we have here is going to be the Moltres. Let me look that up real quick. Moltres, boom, our Great League Moltres with Sucker Punch, Brave Bird, as well as Ancient Power. The standard moveset on PvPoke. IV wise, not that bad for a Moltres. You don't typically see it everywhere, you know, of course. So these are the IVs I had to have, but was really cool that I actually get this. This is nice. All right, this is an amazing Pokemon in this league. But anyway, going into the next Pokemon, we have Feraligatr. This is going to be our shiny Feraligatr. If I can find it here, so many freaking Feraligatrs. Not that one. There we go. Our PvP Feraligatr. This is a rank 84 Feraligatr, by the way. Blue. I love that blue. The shiny on that freaking Feraligatr. I love it so much. But anyway, we got Shadow Claw, Hydro Cannon, and we are actually using Crunch this time, not the Ice Beam on this variant anyway. Just because there's so many Ghosts and as well as Psychic types, especially top meta right now. Also, it's a really good move to use. Say if I'm going against another water type, so I'm not stuck there with Hydro Cannon as well as Ice Beam, especially since this is not Shadow. Hydro Cannon doesn't hit as much to, you know, of course, other water types as much as it would if it was Shadow. But yeah, Crunch is basically going to be our alternative here. And then last but not least, we have our Skeledirge. This is going to be the shiny Skeledirge that we actually got from Community Day. Pretty well. This one's a 98%, well, not 98, 96%, but hey, it is what it is. It did what it needed to do. We got Incinerate, Torch Song, and as well as Shadow Ball. Yeah, that is what we have there built up. And yeah, we're basically about to just get into the battles. Let's go. All right, the battle is about to start. But anyway, yes, this team was freaking amazing. So fun to actually use. Cannot wait to show it to you guys here once we actually load up. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the game was trying to prevent me from actually hitting veteran. Like, I don't know what it was. There was so many things that like messed up my my gameplay throughout this set anyway, but you'll see here in a second. You'll see in a second. But anyway, we got Moltres versus Thievul here. Of course, you know, Sucker Punch not going to do that much damage to each other actually, but I am going to be able to get to a Brave Bird. Let's see if they actually let this go, or do they think that I'm going to bait with the Ancient Power, Ancient Power. Boom, we actually take it out. Let's go. They did not shield. Basically thought they can call the bluff there. They end up switching into a Corviknight. We switch into the Skeledirge, and then they bring out a Swalot. Oh my goodness. Now, the Swalot does have super effective quick moves, I believe with Mud Slap, Mud Slap if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, it has Ice Beam and as well as Sludge. So basically going to be non-effective against the Skeledirge, which is very nice. Basically, we're going to be able to tank most of the charge moves here, so I don't have to really worry about using a shield, which is nice. Ice Beam coming through, not doing that much damage whatsoever. So we're just going to build up a little bit more energy and then go straight into the Shadow Ball here. Basically, Swalot is a very bulky boy, so we definitely going to have to use a Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball coming through, getting the shield, and then let's see if we can get to at least one more charge move. Oh, unfortunately, we cannot. But at this point, we might as well just use a shield, finish off the Swalot here. We are going to have to use a shield. I mean, I was thinking they were going to use Ice Beam again. Ice Beam definitely did a lot more damage than the Sludge. I definitely would have been able to tank it, but it's good that we actually still have it and we have a banked move in the back. They switch back into the Corviknight. We have our Moltres here. We're going to get to the Ancient Power. Boom! Doing not that much damage. I thought that would do a little bit more damage, but that makes sense. Corviknight is a bulky boy, especially being part Steel type as well. So we are going to have to take a Sky Attack, and we do tank it, which is very nice. Let's see if we can get to another Ancient Power. Please, let's get there. Boom! We are going to be able to get there. And I don't think they have any more shields left. If they do, let's see if they end up trying to shield and maybe keep switch. Nope, they do not, which is nice because they bring back into the Swalot and they do not have any good fast move pressure. Now at this point, I'm thinking, do I want to shield? Nah, no point of wasting the shield on this low health Moltres here. Might as well just let it go. And at this point, yeah, I was gonna say we can either it didn't really matter. Literally, that was the last Pokemon, and we ended up winning that game. That is awesome. I don't even think any of my Pokemon literally... Oh, actually, yeah, the Moltres died. But still, that was a really good game. That was awesome. Going into the next match, let's go. But as you can see how the team works, like with the Moltres in the front, it's really easy like to draw out, like say if anybody wants to draw out like a Fairy type, and then if they bring in a Fairy type, you got Skeledirge. It's amazing. It's like, here we go. Actually, speak of the devil, we have Tinka Tough here. Not even Tinka Ton. Somebody's using the middle form here to take us out. They end up switching into a Lapras here. We are going to use our Crunch. This is why I brought Crunch into it, because Crunch at least is going to be able to do some good neutral damage onto this Lapras. Whereas I don't believe Hydro Cannon, yeah, I think Hydro Cannon does just a little bit less. So good thing we do definitely have that Crunch there. Now, this could be a Skull Bash. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just going to tank it, see what it is. I think I can tank it, whatever it is. It is a Skull Bash. Ooh, I do take it, but I am going to be able to at least get off my charge move here. Let's see if this ends up taking it out or not. If it doesn't, that is fine. Actually, no, yeah, definitely. We're too far off. But we did get a defense drop, which is nice. And we're going to be able to go into our Moltres, basically tank these Psy Waves, no problem. I'm thinking, do I shield here? Do I not? This could be a Skull Bash, but it is a Sparkling Aria, and we are definitely going to be able to take that, no problem. We do have a bunch of energy now, which is very nice. They come back in with the Tinkerton now, or Tinka Tough anyway. And at this point, we're just going to throw the Brave Bird. Might as well just see if we can get the damage onto this Tinka Tough before we switch back in. And they have a freaking Grumpig in the back. I don't believe they have any more shields left. They might have a shield left. If they do have a shield left, we're definitely going to be getting taken out here, which is going to be very unfortunate. Oh, yes, because they are going to be able to get to the Shadow Ball, and I don't... Actually, I think I have one more shield left. Do I have one more shield left? I was not paying... Oh, actually, we still have both of our shields. I don't know... I don't know how I didn't catch that. We did not use any of our shields. We do get Punk Faked out with the Dynamic Punch, though, which is very unfortunate. But we are going to be able to get to this Torch Song, which is going to boost our Incinerate damage. And we basically get the shield, which is very nice because they thought that was the Shadow Ball. As you can see, all that damage I'm doing to the Grumpig here. At this point, I probably could have... Actually, no, I forgot. The Tinkertuff is still in the back. We do have to worry about that. So we are basically going to take out the Grumpig here, which is very nice. And we're going to try to build up to another Brave Bird, unless they end up using their charge move. Let's see what they end up doing. They do not. They don't end up using their charge move. I don't know if they were trying to probably bank some more energy for the Skeledirge in the back, because that's like the main worry they have to worry about. But I do hit it with the Brave Bird, and we do end up taking out the Tinkertuff. Let's go. Freaking Moltres, Shadow Moltres, freaking Galarian Moltres taking out a Fairy Steel type. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, this team is amazing, especially against, like, it's basically a really good anti-meta team. Like, I wasn't even, it wasn't even very intentional. I just wanted to use Moltres, and like obviously those are like my favorite starter Pokemon in general. But like this team actually works out phenomenally, especially against the Malamars, everything like that. Like other dark types, which is nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. We got Moltres in the front going against the Thievul yet again. This time they do get to their charge move before we get to ours. I'm thinking it's not going to be the fairy move. I think it's yeah, it's definitely going to be a Night Slash there. They definitely did it a little earlier than the last time. We're just going to build up a little bit more energy this time, just so we can yeah, just so we can bake some energy here. But we are going to full send the Brave Bird. Do they? They don't shield it again, which is so funny to me. They bring in a Tinkaton, and now basically at this point I'm just going to full send another Brave Bird, and I'm just going to let it go down because we want alignment with our Skeledirge against this Tinkatuff here. So Brave Bird coming through, doing a decent amount of damage, basically taking it to half, which is very nice. Actually, a little lower than half, which is nice. We bring in a Skeledirge, and we are probably going to be getting hit with the Bulldoze. Now, Bulldoze does not do that much damage, so I don't have to worry about the first one at all. Bulldoze coming through, super effective, but as you can see, still just does not do that much damage. They bring in a Golisopod. We're just going to bring out our Feraligatr. Feraligatr definitely should be able to tank a X-Scissor, no problem here. Definitely will take me to half, most likely. X-Scissor coming through, taking me, yeah, is basically to half. And then we are going to use a Crunch here. As I said, really good for these neutral plays here, especially against another water type. They end up using a Shield. And basically, we're going to try to get to another Crunch here. I'm just going to put up the Shield, and yeah. This happened. Like, my game literally froze. This is what I was talking about. I feel like they were trying to prevent me from hitting Veteran, which is insane, because it's like this happened and then something else happens after this, and you'll see it. You'll see it. But I literally would have won this game. I would have won this game if it literally just did not freeze us. Like, it's still recording, as you can see. Like, if this did not happen, we would have probably won this game. Like, no problem, right? I mean, potentially anyway. They could have flipped it, but still, like, just the fact that the game freezes like this is insane. But anyway, we're gonna fast forward to the next match here. Yeah, we're just gonna fast forward to the next match. Obviously, that was a loss, but going into the next one, we have Moltres versus Grumpig. All right, this is actually a really good lead here. Definitely, Sucker Punch is gonna do a super effective damage. They switch into a Claydol, which is not the best switch in, to be honest. Now I end up switching into the Feraligatr, basically banking the energy on the Moltres there. Basically going to tank a Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb coming through, not doing that much damage. I mean, does take me almost to half, which is very unfortunate, but we are going to be able to tank it, which is good, because we are going to get to the super effective Hydro Cannons. Hydro Cannon coming through. Boom, taking out the Claydol, and guess what? They bring it back in the Grumpig. I should be able to get to a Crunch. Let's see if I can get to the Crunch before they end up taking us out here. And this is another reason why Crunch is really good for the Feraligatr. Let's go. Crunch coming through, and ooh, okay, they end up using a shield, which is fine. Shields are also good. I would love to actually have shields, which is nice. So basically at this point, I could take a Dynamic Punch, but I'm not going to take a Dynamic Punch. We're going to shield this up. Dynamic Punch coming through, and we're just going to build up some energy here. They end up switching into a Marowak. We have a Brave Bird ready for it. Let's see if they end up shielding this or not. I think they actually, that was their last shield last time, if I'm not, oh, never mind, that is going to be their last shield for sure. And we have one more shield left, so might as well use it right now. And essentially we're just going to get directly right back to a Brave Bird. Let's see if what they can, I don't think they can really do anything about this whatsoever. So second Brave Bird coming through here, because the Skeledirge definitely does not want to see this Marowak whatsoever. And they bring it back in the Grumpig. Now the Grumpig gonna hit me with the Dynamic Punch. Now this most likely will KO, especially the fact that I just used 2 Brave Birds back to back. Definitely see you later, Moltres, but we still have a pretty healthy Skeledirge here. Can we take it out before they get to the Shadow? And we can. Let's go. Incinerates, taking out the Grumpig, and we ended up winning that game. Now, if I caught the Dynamic Punch onto the Skeledirge, that would have been amazing. I was thinking that, like, literally that last second before it happened. Like, I should have switched into the to the Skeledirge and then basically farmed it down from there. Like, that would have been amazing. But, anyways, we ended up winning that game literally by a smidget. Literally by a smidget. Because we didn't have any more shields. If they would have hit us with a Shadow Ball, that would have sucked. But anyway, we are 3 wins in with 1 loss here just because of the fact of that last game freezing. And yeah, it's doing this thing again also where I'm basically just trying to play a match, but it's like doing the error thing. So it's like it's erroring out every time I try to get into a match. We're just going to fast forward here. I basically do this a couple of times until we get to the next match. So let's get into that one right now. There we go. We're into it right now. Surveillance Van. That is who we're fighting right now. Moltres versus the Claydol here. Let's go. Fast move pressure, definitely going to be on the Moltres side with that. Then they bring in a Furret. Now with the Furret, I'm going to use Skeledirge. Now you might be wondering, like, right, like, oh, like the Furret literally has Sucker Punch. What are you thinking? The charge moves don't do anything to Skeledirge. That is the reason why, right? Trailblaze definitely doesn't do anything, and as well the Swift definitely doesn't do anything, or literally doesn't do anything because I'm Ghost. But at the same time, it is going to be able to boost his Sucker Punch with the Trailblaze, so that's going to be very unfortunate for us here because it is going to potentially Sucker Punch us down. There it is. Unfortunate, but we do still have our Moltres here. Definitely going to bring in the Moltres because the Moltres is going to be able to take the Swift and as well going to be able to take the Trailblaze if they end up using another Trailblaze here. Swift coming through. It is a boosted Swift, so it did do a decent amount of damage there. Now, unfortunately, they had another Swift bank there. They must have banked a lot of energy. I didn't even I didn't even realize. But anyways, we're gonna shield. We're gonna shield the second Swift and basically build up to the point where we have 100% energy on our Moltres, which is nice right now. Well, at least for the Ancient Power anyway, because we are gonna be able to at least get potentially to another Brave Bird here if we wanted to. Brave Bird coming through on to the Claydol, and then basically at this point we just switch right into our Feraligatr. As we already know, Feraligatr should be able to take a Rock Tomb if they get to their Rock Tomb before we get to the Hydro Cannon, but unfortunately for them, we get to our Hydro Cannon before they do. Boom, getting the last shield, I believe, and yeah, we're just not going to shield this last one here. Most likely they have Ice Beam, so I'm guessing, yeah, this is going to be Rock Tomb. Yeah, and then basically I'm just going to be able to farm the Claydol the rest of the way down. No problem there. And then what do they have in the back? It's going to be a freaking Skeledirge. Not going to be good for them whatsoever. And yeah, let's see. Hydro Cannon coming through, doing a bunch of damage. Can I get to another one? Oh, I almost did. I almost did get to another one there. But we do have the Ancient Power on the Moltres already banked up. And this is going to be a KO for the Skeledirge. Boom, you're out of there. And this is why Galarian Moltres is amazing. Well, in the Catch Cup anyway. I'm pretty sure it's also really good in the Great League. We are definitely going to be building a Great League team for sure at some point. I have a couple of team ideas I'm thinking of actually, so definitely stay tuned for that. This is me trying to attempt to catch a freaking Jump Bluff using a regular ball here, but that's fine. Should not take too long. There we go. And we claim it. We get all the way up to Veteran. Let's go. Now it is the goal to get to Expert. Basically I have these 2 weeks to try to get to Expert now. So I finally hit at least 1 tier so far, but we are just going to keep going. Let me know what you guys think of the team down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps the channel grow. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.